Okay, so this is the last part of the notes that we're going to talk about today. We'll finish up the rest in class next time. So the last thing that we need to be able to talk about is to find the x and y intercepts of a parabola and determine the direction of its opening. So to find the y-intercept of a parabola, the first thing that all we have to do is identify the c value in the equation y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. The answer is simply, well, whatever the c value is. So on example 5, if I was to find the y-intercept of this equation, on the y-axis it will be at 5. On example 6, we've got x squared plus 2x subtract 8. This would have a y-intercept of -8, because that's a value with no x. That's all we have to do to find the y-intercept. Now to find the x-intercept of a parabola, you have to do a little bit more. The first thing that you need to do is you need to factor the equation. After you factor the equation, you need to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So the first thing that we have on example 7, f of x equals x squared plus 6x plus 5. I need to factor the equation first, so I split my x squared up into x times x. 5 can only be broken down into 1 times 5, so I've got plus 1 plus 5. Kind of check it. Yes, 1 plus 5 would give us 6. So I'm done with step 1. Now step 2, I set each factor equal to 0. X plus 1 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0. And I solve each one. So x plus 1 equals 0. I would subtract 1 on each side. And we leave us with x equals -1. On the right, when x plus 5 equals 0, I'm going to subtract 5 on each side. So 5 minus 5 will cancel out, and that leaves us with x equals -5. And those would be our two y-intercepts on example 7. Example 8, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start by taking our equation, x squared plus 2x subtract 8, and factor it. So I'm going to split x squared up into x times x. I'm going to split up -8 into positive 4 subtract 2, because 4 minus 2 would leave us the 2 here in the middle. Now I set each equation equal to 0. So the equation on the left, we'd start by subtracting 4 on both sides. That leaves us with x is equal to -4. On the right side, we do plus 2 on each side. That leaves us with x is equal to positive 2. And that's all we have to do for x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Okay. Now the last thing is we have just kind of little basic information about parabolas. Parabolas can have a low point, which we call a minimum. Or they could have a high point called a maximum. So in an equation, ax squared plus bx plus c, the part that determines if we have a minimum or a maximum is this starting term. If a is positive, then that's going to cause the graph, the parabola is going to look like a U that's facing up, and it will have a lowest point called a minimum. And that lowest point is the vertex. If the starting term happens to be negative, then the parabola looks like this, where it's opening down, and it has a high point called a maximum, which again is wherever that vertex is located. Okay, so that's all the information you need to complete the assignment for today. However, if you do wish, there is a short little video where I'm going to work out problems number 1 and 2 if you're so inclined to watch that. Hope you all have a good day and welcome back.